Absolutely, and this is a little bit of a complicated issue, and I have a feeling that there may be specialized laws that depend on state to state on this, but in Connecticut I can certainly speak to this. With Social Security disability and workers' compensation, you're only allowed to have so much money from each of these two programs at the same time. So typically with a Social Security case, when you apply, you're not simply applying for disability going forward, but you're asking for disability for a time period in the past as well that you became unable to work. If during any of this time period you were collecting temporary workers' comp benefits on a monthly or weekly or biweekly basis, or if there was a settlement called a stipulation agreement for workers' comp where you settled, there are factors that can come into play and can affect you in the future or the past with your Social Security. The way it works is that with workers' comp and Social Security in any given month, the two of those benefits together cannot go over 80% of what your average salary would have been if you were working. It doesn't necessarily work as the state and the federal government intend, but the idea is to prevent people from staying out of work because they're making as much or close to as much as if they were actually working. And in reality, I've seen this hurt more clients than it's really benefited. But the issue comes about like this, that if you are over that amount, over that 80% threshold with workers' comp and Social Security combined, Social Security will be lessened. You will lose Social Security on your monthly basis or lump sum retro benefit in order to get you down to that 80% mark. So it's really the amount of workers' comp you're making plus the amount of Social Security you're making can affect what your total Social Security monthly rate is. An attorney can actually do a very thorough evaluation, and something that we at Trantolo and Trantolo do very often with clients to help you understand what your expected rate may be and whether it's going to affect you and how it's going to affect you if you want to get Social Security and workers' comp at the same time. One of the important things to keep in mind is this, that if you are receiving workers' comp and you want to seek disability benefits, there is no negative. The only thing that can happen is, in worst case, you break even, but usually you're going to get a benefit above and beyond what you would with workers' comp alone. It's also important that if you have a workers' comp attorney, that they are placed in contact with your Social Security attorney so that the two can figure out any caveats or issues between the two programs to benefit you in the best way possible.